got it better than us?
Your home for the best sports coverage in Utah. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. Time to talk some Mammoth hockey with our buddy Nick Olczyk. What's going on, Nick?
Jake and Ben, what's up, boys? Hello from Raleigh, North Carolina. A big chance for the Mammoths here tonight to make it a pretty darn remarkable trip if they can find a way to get 3 wins out of 4 games.
Yeah, already been a good trip. Certainly that win in Florida on the second night of a back-to-back I thought was
huge.
Maybe the most impressive win of the season so far from the team. But I imagine the spirits have to be really high around the team right now.
Yeah, they do. Just headed back to the hotel here after morning skate. A typically spirited skate for this group that loves each other on and off the ice, and it certainly shows. And you're coming off of an impressive win, as you had mentioned. I would certainly co-sign that and put that as one of the better wins of the year, especially considering the fact that in the first game of that back-to-back in Tampa, with the amount of chances they generate, they very well could have won that game. And then that's the craziest part about it. And then you come to play the second game against the Stanley Cup champions. And sort of for some that would call that a scheduled loss. But credit to the Mammoth, they found a way to play a heck of a game. They really didn't give the Panthers a whole heck of a lot after the 2 goals that they had scored. And give them credit. They came through with big goals at key moments. And how about Vitek Vanacek? Like, what a performance from the backup goaltender. And, oh, by the way, you did all of that without your leading goal scorer, Dylan Gunther, still without your number 1 center, and some guys banged up on the back end. That's a big-time win for that group.
So as somebody who's there, Nick, can take this wherever you want to go, but what is the vibe around the club like?
Well, there's a real confidence, but not an overconfidence in the group right now. There's still a lot of hockey left to play. I think when you look at the standings, they've got a 3-point lead in the first wild card position, but there are a couple of teams breathing down their neck. San Jose in the second spot right now. They've got 57 points. The Kings and the Seattle Kraken on the outside looking in right now. They both have 57 points, but when you look at the standings, too, the most important kind of win is a regulation win because that's the first playoff tiebreaker after the seeding is determined by points percentage. And so, with where this team is at, there's confidence in the group, and their decision-making with the puck, I think, has been as big of a reason as any why they've had a ton of success here. But I think the thing is in a hockey season, if you get focused on the end result, you lose focus on the day-to-day. You lose focus on what you have to do that day to make sure that you get the most out of practice, that you're preparing your mind and your body at the morning skate and making sure that you're ready to go. Because if you're not 100% ready to go this day and age, it's going to be very hard to win games consistently. So I just think that the focus, the mindset, the mentality, the attitude of these guys right now is very much in the present. I don't sense any overconfidence. They very well know where they're at. They know what the expectations are. But as they try to accomplish those as we do march towards the playoffs, I think these guys are in a terrific spot.
All right, Nick, we saw a goal that I had not seen before. I don't know if there had been one in Mammoth history. This was against the Predators to start this trip. With an empty net, J.J. Peterka was tripped on a breakaway, and they awarded the goal. I don't think I'd seen that before, and honestly, as I'm still learning hockey, I didn't realize that they would just award a goal if the puck doesn't go in the net. Yeah, and
if you are fouled or if there's a penalty taken, and that's to deter players from taking penalties on guys that are going for an empty net shot because it could get dangerous. If you trip a guy and he's going at full speed to try to put a puck into an open net, he could end up going crashing into the boards. So it is as much of a safety thing as it is something that will be rightfully rewarded because, the net's open. And if you slash a guy on the hand and otherwise he would have been able to put it into the open net, you're going to reward him a goal. But that's why if you're trying to avoid that, do what Nick Schmaltz did in the last home game against the Philadelphia Flyers. Remember when Garnet Hathaway had an open look at the net and Nick Schmaltz didn't slash his stick from top down. He came from underneath, swiped it, and then obviously we know in my opinion, which that led to one of the most, if not the most dramatic comeback in best game in franchise history. So, yeah, for our newer fans, our newer listeners, if a player has a clear shot at an empty netter, and he's tripped or slashed or hauled down from behind, it's going to be an automatic goal awarded.
So, Nick, after the road game tonight, the Mammoth come back home for 6 in a row. At what point is it acceptable to change the conversation from if this team is going to make the playoffs to things like positioning and home ice?
Well, I think you could start looking at the positioning right now, and it kind of goes into our talk about regulation wins, and they've got 21 of those. You look at some of the teams around them, they don't have nearly as many of those. I think the next closest is the LA Kings. So, I think for this group right now, it's continuing to stay within the day-to-day, but I just get in, right? Like you could sit there, and I think if you're a Colorado or if you're a Dallas, teams that are very much in their Stanley Cup window, whereas the Mammoths are hoping to be there one day and are very much on track to being one of those teams in a couple of years. You can't worry about, if we get into the third spot, we're taking on this team, and if we get the second wild card, the first wild card. The great thing about the National Hockey League playoffs is that just get in, and you never know what can happen. Your goalie could catch fire. A couple of players on your team could find some hot stretches, and that could end up leading you to the promised land, because there have been stories of teams that go on to either win a cup or have a deep run from teams that do make it from a wild card spot or even the last team to make it in. So, with how consistent they've played, the fact that they have remained in the moment and they haven't gotten too far ahead of themselves, I think that's a very positive part of the attitude of this group right now. But we are certainly getting to that point where us as broadcasters and us as fans and us as lovers of the game, it is very much the time right now to start seeing, okay, how would this shake out if this was the matchup and where this team is going to want to be. But there is no question and there is no argument that this whole playoff run is going to go right down to the end, which is why a win tonight, a big 2 points here in Raleigh tonight is going to go a long way. In the Mammoth, not only trying to chase the teams in their division, but trying to create some standing separation between themselves and the teams that are below.
Nick, because they've only been here now for, 18 months, I guess, coming up on, not even that long, a year, the Mammoth have been in Utah, 2 years, excuse me. We don't really have a sense of how long it's been since, then Arizona Coyotes, this organization has had postseason success. We're seeing the postseason. Well, we get a sense of what it might mean to our community. What do you think it would mean internally to the Andre Tyrannies, the Bill Armstrong, even somebody like Matt McConnell, who's been, broadcasting games? What would it mean to them?
Well, I'd love to hear Matty McConnell call a playoff game. I don't know about you guys. He has had some unbelievably memorable calls this season that will live in Utah Mammoth history. But I think it's going to mean when this team makes the playoffs, it's going to mean everything to the city of Salt Lake City and to the state of Utah and to Mammoth fans all over the world. I've had Mammoth fans reach out to me from New Zealand. Like they're watching games that's a day ahead, and they're watching games when we're playing and broadcasting the game. Like it would do so much to make the playoffs. And if Mammoth Nation loves coming to the Delta Center for regular season games, and they love the atmosphere there, which how could you not? It's that on steroids come the playoff time. You get the rally towels every single game, every play, every goal, every save, every check means that much more when the rink shrinks come playoff time. So, for this team, they've got plenty of experience, especially on the back end when you think about guys that have won cups, that have been around. Sergachev, Cole, Nate Schmidt, those are a couple of guys that come to mind. And it's this time of the year where you got to lean on those guys. You got to rely on them to try to help to get you to the promised land. But it would be an unbelievable accomplishment for this team to make the playoffs, especially considering that was the expectation coming into this year, and it is not out of the realm at all. And there should be a lot of excitement around this group, because not only should and hopefully will make the playoffs this season, but they have been set up by General Manager Bill Armstrong and his staff to be a competitive team for the next decade, considering some of the great pieces they have, whether it's Clayton Keller or Karel Vejmelka, Dylan Gunther, Logan Cooley, so on and so forth. The present is bright, and you better grab a pair of sunglasses because the future is even brighter.
Utah Mammoth broadcaster and big-time celebrity in New Zealand, Nick Olczyk, with us here on Jake and Ben. Nick, thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Appreciate it. Enjoy the game.
You guys are the best. I appreciate you guys having me on always, and looking forward to our chat next week. Let's go get 2 points tonight in Raleigh.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate you.